since last May. Now, in a lunar eclipse, the sun shines on the Earth and it casts two shadows. The umbra is the dark central shadow, and the penumbra is the outer part of the shadow. Now, when the moon enters the penumbra, that part of the shadows, Earth's shadows, is cast on the moon, and that causes a partial eclipse. It looks something like this image behind me, but the real action begins when the moon enters the umbra. That's when the total eclipse happens, and when the moon turns a faint copper or red color, like the image behind me. Now, this happens because the only light that reaches the moon's surface is from the edges of the Earth's atmosphere. Now, the moon will appear larger and brighter than average because it's near perigee. That's the point in the moon's orbit closest to the Earth. Now, the show will already be in progress when the moon rises here in Southern California. Let's take a look at the timing. The moon at 7:40 p.m., that's the first time we're going to see it. About a quarter of the moon will be eclipsed at that time. At 8:29 is when totality begins. That's when it starts entering the umbra and begins to turn red. 9/11 is the point of the greatest eclipse, when it will be bright red. Totality ends at 9:54, and the whole thing ends just before 11 p.m. Now, unlike a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse is safe to watch with the naked eye, but if you have binoculars or a telescope, you're going to have a much nicer view. The next lunar eclipse will begin later this year in November. I hope you can watch this one because it's going to be pretty cool, and maybe keep the kids up a little late because it's going to be worth it. Now, back to those winds, because the winds have been giving us some problem as we go throughout the weekend. I want to take a look at the winds for the afternoon, because that's when we could have some breezy conditions right along the coast and spreading inland. Again, no watches or warnings are in effect because of the fire danger, but please be safe with any fire sources. Just because we don't have those watches doesn't mean that fires can't start. Remember that the vegetation is very dry, and we can absolutely see some fires start in our area. So let's be smart and let's be safe. Here's the weather around 9 p.m. At that time, you're looking at some gusty winds through the Newhall Pass, and then through tomorrow morning, we're starting off with those light winds, and the temperatures in the afternoon are going to be even hotter. In fact, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast, because you think today is hot, tomorrow the numbers go up even more. Saturday, 85. Onshore flow increases on Sunday through next week. The weather will be cooler in the 70s along the coast. 79 today, 81 tomorrow. Then the 90s, the low desert, you're starting triple digits today, continuing through next week. And the forecast in the mountain looks nice in the 70s. Enjoy, be safe. 6:19, here's Robin with traffic. Hi.